Hi, thanks for joining me with another weekly episode of Cooking with Eartha. This is a weekly cooking show where I help you safely navigate the kitchen and give you tips and tricks. Why? Because let's face it, you need the help. This week on Cooking with Eartha, we've decided to show you how to make a nice country breakfast. You know, they say the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and personally, I think you're aiming a little too high. But I want to give you a wonderful, easy breakfast that you can serve your family. Your family's coming over today, and it's really important that you give them beverage options. So I like to serve country fresh squeezed juice. Squeezed. I said squeezed. Anyway, we're gonna run with it. Oh. And now I'm gonna squeeze my orange right into my container. Look at that, no mess. Easy as that. And what goes better with orange juice than booze? Because let's face it, if family's coming over, you're gonna need it. Okay, let's get that open, shall we? This part always scares the crap out of me. Oh God. Oh. Oh. Huh, just like that. All right, you got your bottle open, and now it's time to make mimosas. Mixing ratio is the most important part. All right. And don't worry, I've got a second bottle if we need it. All right, you've got your mimosas. Give it just a little shake. And then it's important that we serve our guests. One for you. And one for me. This looks delicious. First things first, we have to get our eggs. Let's go find the eggs from that big, giant We've got our eggs. We need to find our pig. That's going to be a very important part of this breakfast. Which reminds me, what do you call a pig with no feet? Sausage! Hello! We've got our sausage. Let's go back to the kitchen. We're making scrambled eggs this morning, a nice element to a country breakfast. I love adding things to my scrambled eggs, whether it's ham, onion. So I'm gonna add onion today to make it kind of like a vegetable garden, or a vegetable variety. Let's prepare our onion. All right, you've got your onions. Let's get cooking, shall we? One of the things that I like to start with when cooking breakfast are my meats. When they're cooked, it's something that can be set to the side and they'll stay warmer longer. Let's start by turning up our skillet. I don't know about you, but I love cooking with butter. So I'm gonna take just a dab. That didn't work so well. Slap it right in there, just get it in there. And then we're just gonna wait a minute for it to melt. While we're waiting for the butter to melt, now's a great time to take a shot. And frankly, who gives a damn that it's 10 in the morning? Maybe just some extra one for the road. All right, your butter's melting and you're starting to get a nice sizzle. Let's get that sausage that we've rounded up in the pan. Oh, just kind of work that meat in your hands. Oh, it's nice and... Anyway, just get it in there. Get it in there. Just work it. Work that meat. I like doing a ground mashed up sausage. This can be used for gravy. It can be added into your eggs, whatever you want, or people can just, you know what? You'll eat what I make. Your sausage is done, and now we want to set that to the side. Normally, I would drain my meat, but I like to keep the grease in there because that's going to come in handy when we go to mix everything together. So just set it in a bowl. If there's a little bit of meat left in there, that's fine. And we'll put that in the back. We're going to use that for later. All right, now we're gonna move on to the eggs. It's really important that we scramble up those eggs. You've ran out to the backyard, wrangled up those chickens, and you've gotten those eggs. Let's scramble them, shall we? You're just gonna want to grab your eggs and scramble them. Just a little bit of pepper. It's really important that you have a nice pepper mill in the kitchen. And then I like to salt it just a little bit. Scramble. An important element to any scramble is going to be your potatoes. However, when I'm making potatoes, I like to mix in anything that I'm going to add onto it, like my vegetables. I've decided to go with onion and garlic today because I love smelling like a giant ogre. Well, you've melted some butter. Oh, I love that sound when cooking. Just kind of mix that around in there. Then we're going to take our onion and just get it in there. You're gonna throw your onions in and you're just gonna wanna lightly brown them. You're not gonna wanna saute them. That's Thai for fry. Throw those in. This part smells the best. When you're frying up that onion, it kind of takes me back home to the swamp. All right. They're lightly pink. Got some opaque in there. Then you're going to want to take your Idaho homegrown potatoes. They were manufactured, frozen in a local plant, I'm sure, and bought at a local Walmart. And just toss them in there. Those chunks will melt down. Thank you, Ida. You've got just a dash of butter. Watch out, Paula Deen. Hope it turns out. Truth is, whenever you're making a meal, especially when you're feeding your family, it doesn't have to go great because they have to love you anyway. All right, let's check on those potatoes, shall we? Whew, that's good. Set that to the side. They're nice and browned. They don't need to be crispy because this is a scramble, so we want everything going together nicely. So now we're gonna add our eggs. And then we're gonna add our meat. Now remember, that grease from the meat is gonna come in real handy. Let's just mix it together. All right. You've mixed it all together. Let's put it on there and just let it cook for just a couple of minutes all together. In a country scramble, I like to add things like cheese. It just adds a lot more flavor. Let's grab some cheese, shall we? All right, you've got your cheese. Let's add it, shall we? Just sprinkle it in there, cover it up so that that heat can melt that cheese. And again, I've said it before, throw all your shit in the sink because your husband will clean it when you're done. Love you, babe. All right, you've thrown your cheese in. It hasn't fully melted, but a little bit has, so let's just kind of stir it up a little bit. Give it that mix. Shut up! I'm working! Definitely won't be inviting the neighbors over. All right, it's all nice and melted. Get a big bowl and just plop that shit in there. Oh, God. All right, well, you've got a scramble that you'll serve your family, and if they don't like it, they can get Grubhub. But for me, I've got my breakfast right here. But it's almost empty. Good thing I have a reserve. Get kind of messy in the kitchen. Enjoy your breakfast. You know, you hear the saying, the quickest way to a man's stomach, the quickest way, Jesus Christ. You've heard it said. This week, we've decided to show you how to make a nice Jesus Christ. Stop. Weekly cooking show where I help you navigate the kitchen with some helpful tips. Nope. A lot longer. When you set it to this. One of the things that I like to start with when cooking breakfast is meats. It's something that can be set to the side and it'll stay longer hotter. It'll fuck. One of the things that I like to start with. That's delicious.